Good afternoon, good morning. This is Mark Johnson from Loyalty360. Hope everyone's happy, safe, and well. I want to welcome you back to another edition of our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series. And this series, as you know, we talk to the brand leaders about what they're seeing on the front lines of customer channel and brand loyalty. Today, we had the pleasure of speaking with Jane McPherson, who's the Senior Vice President of Marketing for Capriotti's Sandwich Shop and Wing Zone. Capriotti's has over 125 locations, and Wing Zones has about 60 locations internationally in the U.S., and kind of a nice kind of mix of two entities, and looking forward to talking to you about customer loyalty.
That sounds great.
So first off, we'd like to start these as kind of a personal piece. We'd like to get to know the people we're speaking with on a more personal note. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what your role at Capriotti's is, and maybe even a fun fact you have about you? You're a passionate Bronco fan, or do you like to ski, or whatever it may be?
So my name's Jane McPherson. I am the SVP of Marketing at Capriotti's. I think one interesting thing is that I actually run IT as well, which is somewhat revolutionary for a marketer to be running IT. But as we see the convergence of marketing and IT really continue to be melded together, with marketing evolving into such a digital platform, and the kind of the infrastructure of IT really influencing marketing, it is really amazing to have oversight of both marketing and IT for both Capriotti's and Wing Zone. We are doing a lot of digital innovation and upgrades for both brands right now, and having marketing and IT work seamlessly together is really tremendous.
Okay, great. So when you look at Capriotti's and Wing Zone, can you tell us a little bit about kind of what you guys do and how you do it, for those who may not know, about the two brands?
Perfect. Yeah. So I've been at Capriotti's for about 4 years, but Capriotti's has been around for 45 years. We just are celebrating our 45th birthday this month. Capriotti's was founded in Delaware in the Little Italy neighborhood, and it was really founded, in the 1970s with just tremendous commitment and to amazing food. So we are really very well known for our cheesesteaks. We take incredibly high grade steak, which, a lot of people are familiar with cheesesteaks, and, the cheese and all is not always like the most special version of a steak. We take really high end, great choice steak, cook it on the grill with cheese, and then we throw in peppers and mushrooms, and our cheesesteaks are out of this world terrific. We even have one that we make with American Wagyu. So our cheesesteaks are very high end and terrific, extraordinary cheesesteaks. But what's really tremendous about Capriotti's is we actually have these huge ovens in our shops. And every night we put butterball turkeys in there and we roast them overnight. So our turkey sandwiches are not, in any way, lunch meat. It is actually like the turkey you make on Thanksgiving Day, and we're pulling them out of the oven every morning and pulling the meat off the bone and making turkey sandwiches. So it's a commitment to food that, not many chains have the opportunity to build into their culture and infrastructure. But we have this incredible store package and training program that allows us to deliver this really high-end food, but in a quick service environment. Okay. So Capriotti's is tremendous. Wing Zone, we make wings, and have just outstanding flavors, and have about a 30-shop footprint. We're the second largest wing chain in the country.
Okay, interesting. You talk about the nice cheesesteak. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the story in the book Contagious by the Wharton author about, I think it's called Philly Prime. They back in the day had $120 cheesesteak in Philadelphia. So so it's good to hear that, as you said, because a lot of times cheesesteak is not the best materials, but it sounds like you are doing a little differently, which is great. Not the $120 version, but
yeah. At the Capri, at least you can get into a Capriotti's cheesesteaks for about $6. So okay. That's the nice alternative.
Okay, good. So when you look at Cap Addicts, which is the rewards app that you built, can you tell us a little about the rewards app and kind of what it does and what it means to your organization?
Yeah, so one thing that's really tremendous about Capriotti's is we do have a base of real fanatics that are, incredibly committed to Capriotti's food and the brand. So we do have our Cap Addicts app. It allows customers to earn a point for every dollar they spend. When they earn 100 points, they do then earn a $10 Cap Addict reward that they can redeem at Capriotti's. And so that is how the Cap Addicts program works. So we have, you can, we have an app that allows you to order on through the app. And you can earn points when you order. That's an easy way to place orders. It's, I think we've got it down to about 7 button pushes. So it's a really seamless way to order, and you earn points that way. You can also order, participate in the Cap Addicts program though, by ordering through the desktop. All you have to do is log into your Cap Addicts account. But also you can earn Cap Addicts points when you order in store. So it is an omni-channel program that allows consumers to earn points ordering through all of our 3 primary channels, which is app on, through a desktop interface or mobile web interface, and then in shop.
Okay.
And that works. So yeah. So, and it keeps our consumers really engaged. There's been so much there's been so many more ordering channels introduced over the past 5 years, and especially the past 3 years. Consumers can order through lots of online platforms, but for Capriotti's and for Wing Zone, that online points program is really sticky and allows us to keep consumers engaged in ordering through our owned platforms.
Okay, great. When do you have a loyalty and rewards program, Wing Zone, or is that something you're looking to implement? Well, where does that stand?
So we do have a loyalty rewards program for Wing Zone. It is through, when you order online, for every 5th visit, you earn $5. So that's to reward online ordering through the wingzone.com and app platforms.
Okay, that's good. So when you look at customer loyalty, it's very important to Loyalty360. Obviously, as a trade association for the industry, we have hundreds of members that are very focused on it. What does customer loyalty mean to you and to your organization? And it's always great to get kind of a definition, understanding kind of how your organization defines it.
The way we define loyalty is really kind of in our fan base. We can measure loyalty through our app. Because that allows us to count the number of customers using the rewards program. But we measure loyalty from everything from social engagement to the amount of fans talking about how much they love Capriotti's and Wing Zone through different platforms. Just the amount we engage with our customers when they come in. We have an incredible program where when customers come in and tip our team, our team is yelling out thanks, beer money or tip money or gas money. So we end up having incredible engagement with fans and customers when they're coming in, just through that kind of call, that call and response that we do when people are tipping. So it's a really fun experience to go to Capriotti's as a result. But we also, our fans are really loyal to us, and we try to maintain that relationship by rewarding them. So not only are there, do customers get discounts,
right,
or offers when they are participating in our Cap Addicts program or the Wing Zone reward program. But recently we just sent out great swag to our top 50 customers. So we just sent out hats and t-shirts and really great rewards, because they're our biggest fans. They're our biggest our consumers that we have the deepest and richest relationship with. So we want to reward them by showing them our love as well.
Okay. The fact that you are in charge of IT as well as marketing, I think it's very unique. The technology pieces are a big challenge for brands, making sure they work. Do they actually work with clients they say they do? We have an analyst process where we assess a lot of technologies, but to have that in the marketing realm is very unique, and obviously I think very opportune as well. So what are some of the challenges you see with regard to brands and kind of managing technology?
I think getting your tech stack is so important. And there's so much innovation happening. And so Do you look for, your core POS provider or your core e-commerce provider to provide innovation, or do you plug innovation in from outsource third-party best in class providers? And that getting that tech stack correct is really integral, but it's really complex as well. So there's a lot of innovation we plug in from our current, POS provider and our current e-commerce provider, who are great partners. We use Olo and NCR. We really leverage their tech roadmaps to introduce a lot of innovation, but then we also plug in third-party vendor technology quite a bit as well, because they also have they're a single source provider. So they have whatever they're doing is really most, top notch. So we do a lot of testing to evaluate the benefit that additional technology adds to our tech stack. And we do that from a very, very ROI focused and very consumer focused. So we look a lot at what the consumer needs are, look at how we address consumers' needs for innovation and meet the consumers where they are, but also, and then it's a balancing act between using third-party providers versus our current tech stack innovation.
Absolutely. So when you look at personalization, personalization is very important. It was before, now it's growing. So doing it at scale, but also doing it in a meaningful way that kind of reflects the growing data sets and insight you have on customers. And what is the biggest challenge you see or opportunity you see with regard to personalization?
I think there's a lot of great tools out there that allows for personalization. And it's wonderful that we're evolving to a place where there's so many great tools available. But I do see the hardest part for a lot of companies that are, at my stage of our stage of growth. I mean, we're growing incredibly fast, but, we're still leveraging, we're still looking at what's out there in terms of that fits our size company. But there's so many different databases. We have there's a lot of API integrations that allow us to, reconcile the, opt-outs and opt-ins. But, we have databases in lots of different places, and getting that tech infrastructure right is really important. So that way, as we're doing, we're really looking at the customer journey and addressing the customer journey to meet customers where they are versus, having one database, one tech program that is doing that, where we have initiatives going on and maybe an SMS and another one going on in email, making sure that those two journeys are really compatible and complementary to each other. So that way, the personalization, we're not just leveraging personalization, but we're really addressing the customer's unique journey across an omni-channel platforms.
Okay, interesting. You kind of touched about it. Data is more challenging than before. Third-party data is less impactful, especially with the Google and Facebook regulations and kind of how that can be accessed. That's kind of changing. Transactional data is very important. Zero-party data is all the rage now with regard to surveys or questionnaires or gamification. How are you managing just different data sources and kind of creating actionability out of them?
Right now we're really relying on our partners to help us build the right infrastructure to accomplish those goals. But we're in this place where we're looking at, do we start bringing all of our data in-house and managing it ourselves versus leveraging our partners to manage our databases and create those points of integration with the other vendors we're leveraging. And that's interesting for all of us as we look at our data, is where does our data sit, how do we own our data in a real way and use those technology providers that allow us to reach the customers in the most meaningful way versus using their database technologies.
Okay, understood. Excellent. Partnerships are something that are a growing interest as well, as you know. So either partnerships with a platform provider like you talked about, or potentially more importantly, with regard to other brands where as kind of data regulations change, you can find alignment between two brands that can be advantageous to both. How do you guys look at partnerships, and are partnerships something that are important to you and your team?
Right now we spend, as a restaurant chain, most of our deep relationships we've been really building over the past few years have been with the third-party delivery service providers. Our business has changed so much over the past few years in terms of that channel really opening up and exploding. So, in the past, when I joined Capriotti's 4 years ago, delivery service providers were just emerging on the landscape as a meaningful sales channel. Now they, represent about 20% of our business. So having deep relationships with those new sales channels for us has really been an adventure. We have, gotten to a point where DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub are our day-to-day partners rather than just something we think about once a quarter. We're on the, and so we are really excited about their roadmaps for advertising and marketing opportunities, and really look at that as opportunistic ways for us to really drive our business rather than just novelties that we were tinkering with 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, interesting. So when you look at kind of the next big thing for your brand's approach to customer loyalty, what is that? Is that integrating your technology stacks? Is that deciding if you're going to bring something more in-house? Is it the partnerships with DoorDash and others? What's the next big thing for customer loyalty for Capriotti's?
Our partner is Punch for customer loyalty, and we have been long-term partners with them. We were one of the early stage companies to introduce a loyalty program through a digital loyalty program through Punch many years ago. And what we're really excited about and have been leveraging very significantly is all of their new tools and journeys, and and also their AI tools around offer analysis and really customizing the right offer to the right journey at the right time for those customers. So for us, that partnership with Punch is we really rely on their technology innovation to drive a lot of our loyalty innovation. And we've seen that a lot of their new tools have been really successful for us. So we are now integrating, looking at their Journeys product and looking at, we've been successful with our Journeys builders, and now beyond email and app pushes, how do we start then building SMS into our Journeys, and really, and also then how do we take the webhooks from Olo and also make sure that we're leveraging all of our e-commerce data to build best-in-class journeys. E-commerce is something that's been so well defined, and there's been so much innovation for retail brands outside of restaurants, but restaurants, a lot of us are really still kind of at our early stages of defining what e-commerce is. So for us, we're really looking at our entire tech stack and how to move it forward to be much more of an e-commerce driven best practices, leveraging all of the tools that our partners like Punch and Olo are providing us.
Okay. And last question we have, what can Loyalty360 do to help you in your customer loyalty journey?
So I just think all of the data that you are providing in regarding, omni-channel loyalty has been really tremendous, really helps us as we think about how we're building our loyalty programs. It allows us to just develop more insightful, more meaningful programs to engage our customers.
Okay, great. Well, I think this has been a very interesting interview, should I say, knowing what you guys do. I didn't know a lot about Capriotti's before, but kind of the passion you have for your customers seems to be very apparent in how you're looking at the product and the customer experience, customer loyalty it was very refreshing to hear. So, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today. It was a very interesting interview.
Yeah, no, thanks for the time. It was great talking, and thanks for your commitment to customers.
Absolutely. And thank you everyone for listening. Join us back soon for our next edition of our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.